What's going on, people of YouTube? Daniel back here for another video. So I wanted to do a bit of a different topic for this one. Essentially, I've been kind of going more into obviously the process of using food to heal, different things that I've learned along the journey. But essentially, I want to spice it up. This is mostly for say the men out here probably watching the videos and thinking this guy didn't have any fun along his journey. This guy never went outside. He just basically cooked all his food, was watching the things he ate and never really took any risks or did anything fun, and that is absolutely not true. So this video will be, as you can see from the title, about essentially being able to live life, mixing up dating as well, things that I did a lot, and still being able to manage your health and heal. So when I was 21, I essentially had, you could say, the little crisis in terms of stress that brought crisis into my life, which was the best thing that ever happened to me. I always say this. And I went about, you could say, a year and a bit of healing. When I hit 22, I talked about this in another video, but essentially I went into a journey of personal development through socializing and meeting women. You could say, how is that developing yourself personally? But if you do it sober, then it is actually doing it, and you're essentially creating different skills. So me myself at that point, you could say I was very low, and as I was going through this healing process as well, I was, you could say, in a lonely chapter. So I had to change things, and yeah, I did this through just going out socializing, doing this sober, on top of healing. So essentially, I'm gonna give you guys a few tips in terms of what I did. Like I said, I still had fun, a lot of fun, and I would say like the 3 or 4 years that I did that. And this is something that I think I can apply to you, because when I say I had fun, I mean I dedicated 3 to 4 years of my life of going out every weekend and getting this skill down. I'm a person that you can say has a addictive personality or determined personality. Once I see something that I want, that I really want, I will put myself and everything on the line to make sure I get that. And for me at that point, it was bettering my social skills, especially with women. So what I did was essentially, yeah, not missing a weekend, like I said. Basically going out. I had a group of friends at that point, and they were helping me because essentially, whenever you're doing something, you need a group of people that help you with going along your journey. And for me, that was this group. I still friends with a lot of them today. I consider them brothers. If you guys are watching the video, much love you guys. But anyways, the point is, I was 100% dedicated to one thing, but I kept health as well. So it was socializing, work, and then health. What I did for this essentially was I cut out any alcohol. I talked about this in another video. Alcohol does not help you at all at any phase of your life, especially if you're very healthy, don't have any conditions. Alcohol is not your friend. So one thing I did was cut out alcohol. I think for like most of my journey, probably like 2 years. Whenever I went on dates, I essentially just did like coffee and tea. Like I said, this was a journey because I was doing this sober. So I mean, yeah, that was the best thing I did, was not drink alcohol. At a later stage, once I got more, you could say, advanced, and things went better, I definitely had a bit of alcohol, which I do regret, because that's kind of when things started to come back. Um, and yeah, basically I had, you could say, like resurfacing of different symptoms. So alcohol was one thing that I did very minimally, just because of my belief with it. But then later on, if you guys you know do this as well, I began to partake a little bit in recreational drugs. So that, if I'm going to compare two, I'm doing this on video, but I'm going to compare two things between like taking alcohol or drugs. I'd go more towards drugs, just because for your skin and for your health. Um, in my situation, it just didn't leave the same after effect. Like alcohol just completely obliterated everything. Um, the My stomach, my digestive system, like all the bacteria in there, even like the hangovers, just everything. Alcohol is just, I don't know, even when you're young, it just doesn't help you at all. Like it's just kind of just inebriates you, obviously, because you're trying to like kill parts of your brain to be social. But after that, the effects, especially for someone going through healing, or maintenance in that case. I already kind of went through the healing process about trying to maintain things. It does not help you. So if I had to, yeah, give you guys the option, go more for, whatever recreational drugs you're taking, to have fun or whatever you guys are doing currently. You guys, like I said, this video is about being able to balance the thing of healing and going out, having fun, experiencing dating. This is mostly for men and women. Lifestyle, vacation, stuff like that. It's not just staying home, eating your 3 meals a day there, and just being a robot. It's about being able to do this while also having a life and having people in your life as well. So yeah, if you had to choose between both, like I said, do that. And in terms of meals, I was always straight up with women as well. I never like tried to hide it and be like this macho guy and be like, oh, I could eat whatever I want, and then like after just be suffering. So I always told them straight up, like, hey, I just more or less, hey, this is what I have. At that point, I still had some plaques and stuff that was coming in and out because I was in the maintenance phase, and I told them like, hey, this is what it is, and many of them were really cool with it. I actually had a lot of good, you could say, feedback in terms of what I was doing, and they never like women will never really push you to do a thing. There's some girls that will, which is kind of annoying. Like they'll still kind of like, oh, drink this, or like let's do that, and then stay away from those girls. Those girls don't help you at all, and they will never understand what you're doing because these women don't really have any accountability. So you yourself have to begin to have accountability for yourself and also the people around you, because if you do start to like make these decisions that are short term decisions and feel good in the moment, then long term they will affect you and your health and also the people around you. And I knew this, and I didn't want to be like getting the side effects back and just putting my family through more as they see me like suffering with it, because your family does suffer with you whether you see it or not. And this is something I realized early on. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to do this. No situation or anything like that is going to make me alter my value system in order to enjoy something a little more. So I was always known as the guy that was kind of distancing himself from like extreme stuff, extreme intoxication, extreme drug use, stuff like that. And yeah, essentially, that's something that I am proud of, and something you have to begin to use as well as your way to really have this lifestyle. So yeah, the second thing would be, like I said, not going too extreme with things, and third as well is making sure you're always picking the spots you go to eat. I never really let women pick spots. They always pick spots that don't have the best food, have the most expensive food for a reason. And for me, I was always picking like steakhouses. If I ever went to eat, very rarely, like I said, I was always doing coffee, which was good. It was very really cheap, but I just filtered really well. So I just did coffee, tea. If I really liked the girl or was dating the girl or had some kind of like thing going on, then I would take them, usually for like steak and stuff like that. Very nice guy, kind of a gentleman, you could say. But yeah, that's the third thing. So making sure I was picking the spots, and fourth is that yeah, experiences with women actually relieve a lot of stress, especially as stress is one thing that will always trigger um, whatever you are currently trying to heal from. So if it's any kind of like skin issue, stress will trigger, um, you can say, flare ups and stuff like that. But if you have other immune conditions, they'll usually flare up more inflammation and just make things worse. So you as a man, if you're always just, you could say, doing the things like working, self-developing, that's good, that's awesome, you should be doing that, but you should also have a little bit of lenience and have a little fun as well. You can't, like I said, just be a robot and just always be doing the difficult thing and the hard thing, because it brings acute stress, but also it brings like bad cortisol stress. And the good thing about women is they're able to have a caring nature and they relieve that stress for you. So I definitely had a stress-free lifestyle, you can say, which is way too stress-free. But this is one thing that helped to maintain that. So if I was, like I said, didn't have this phase or journey, I would have just been, more solo, maybe trying to build a business, stuff like that, and also would have had more stress, which who knows how it would have basically showing itself in my body. So essentially, that was the fourth thing, and I would say that's probably the last thing. But essentially, yeah, just knowing, more or less that alcohol is not your friend. Two, if you have to choose between recreational drug use and alcohol. Choose alcohol. 3, you have to be open with the people you're meeting, the women, social stuff. Don't try to hide and be some kind of person you're not, some macho. Like, oh, I'm just normal like you guys. I can, drink and do this. No, you have to like really take care of yourself for yourself and for the people around you. And number 4, pick the spots you're going to, especially if you start to see women more seriously, and take them out for dinner and stuff like that. Which you should be, do have something with that will hurt that person. So yeah, just make sure you pick the spots. Always don't let them pick, because they always pick something that is not the best food, and is always super expensive and doesn't help anybody, especially yourself. So yeah, bit of a more freestyle video, kind of just letting you guys know that you guys should have fun. Do have stress-free situations as well, and sorry, the 5th one would be stress-free situations. So put yourself in situations not too much stress-free, where you're kind of just letting your life go. Have the discipline, have the self-development of working on yourself, business, fitness, finances, even your family, but also be able to let go and not be this robot, because that will never help anybody, and that will just bring stress into your life and not let you actually heal, because stress is your friend. There's good stress, but also bad stress will be an enemy to you. So hope this video helped you. You can find me on Instagram as well. I'll put the link below. And if you are new to the channel, essentially I've had psoriasis for the past 8 years, been able to reverse it using food, living drug free from that. So I want to share basically some value and what I've gone through and learned over the past 8 years. So more videos coming soon. Hope to see you guys in the next one. And in the meantime, keep killing it.